Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right. Oh, my Lord. Look at this festive overlay we have today. Wow. Timmy, you have been doing some work while you've been laid up on
How you like that?
meds.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, all the time.
That looks pain med induced, actually. Yes. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Happy
Little bit,
Thanksgiving week to everyone. The boys here at Kingmakers are smoking a turkey today. We have this incredible smoker that sits in the sports bar area over here. It's never been used. So
it's not seasoned or anything yet, huh?
No, the great Mike Murphy said, well, why don't we smoke a turkey? And I'm, yeah, smoke a turkey, smoke a ham. So we may have a little Thanksgiving feast after the show.
I've heard
today.
that those are the hardest of the poultry to inhale.
Thank you very much. Yeah, well.
You're getting drugged up, Tim, today. So I don't know.
Wow, that's a good one. All right, kids, we got a great show for you today. Special treat. Not only do we have Scott Reynolds at 10:30 and doom and gloom as far as the Buccaneers go, although we may take a little positive route, a little positive detour since it's the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And also my longtime friend, former intern Mike Nabors, who has gone on to a long and distinguished career in broadcasting, will be joining us in the 11 o'clock hour. We're going to co-host for the entire hour. So we are going to reminisce on all kinds of stuff that is Tampa Bay and state of Florida related, in terms of maybe even do some Saints stuff, since he worked with the Saints for so many years, wrote a book about Drew Brees. So we will we'll get into all kind of shenanigans here today. So and Orestes Estrada is going to stop by as well at the end of the 11 o'clock hour to hit the Rays side of all that stuff. So going to be a little different today, but I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll get to all the news in the first half hour. So away we go. But I must officially ask IndyCar Tim, how we doing? How are the kidney stones? Everything okay?
Well, the
everything
one
come out all right.
The 15 millimeter one is out that I had removed yesterday.
15 millimeters.
Yeah. So this is the third one that I've had to have removed. Is a third or fourth? Good God, I don't even know now. I think it's the third. All been over 13 millimeters, which is way too big to pass because you'll die. Then I've still got, as they confirm just about every time I do the sonogram of the kidneys, I've got about another 16 that are floating around in there, but none are larger than 8 millimeters. So I should be able to. It's painful to pass 8, but I can when it happens. So I may be good with no surgery here for the next 5 years, unless one of them decides to grow and have kidney stone babies with each other. I don't really know. Yeah,
I want to stay away from that as much as possible. All right, so let's get to it. Baker is injured. No kidney stones for him. The word yesterday is he has a mild sprain to the AC joint, which means he could play this week.
Doesn't sound very accurate to me.
I'm
just saying.
So I was postulating with Timmy before the show that, and as I'll ask the Petermans out there, because you've dealt with this all year long, as have I. It seems this year there's been more subterfuge to injuries than in years past. I'm not accusing anybody of lying. It's just we haven't gotten a lot of information. I think there's been an organizational shift to more subterfuge to perhaps gain some strategic advantage over who's going to play and who's not going to play. As you know, and obviously when it comes to the quarterback position, and with the other team doesn't know who the quarterback is going to be, it is a strategic advantage not to tell them. Absolutely 100%. Now, there is extenuated circumstances because the NFL frowns upon that. They want all of their gamblers, fans, to know that which quarterback is going to play. It's pretty key. And when there's a surprise, the league does not like that for obvious reasons. Gambling. So this is a bit of a sticky situation. So And I'm going by, the Tristan Wirfs thing. I'm not, again, nobody lied. It's just not black and white. Didn't get a lot of information. All right. Even, the Jalen McMillan, sprained neck. Next thing we know, he shows up in a neck brace. Next thing we know, it's fractured. So there's been a lot, even when Bucky went out, it was like, he's got a minor injury. It's not going to be, it turned out being a lot longer. So, it's just been a little different. It's been different this year. So I've been going more on my eye test than the ear test of what they're telling us. And when I look at what happened to Baker this past week and how he reacted, that does not look like a mild AC sprain to me. It looks like something a little bit more serious because Baker doesn't show pain. Like, we didn't even know he got injured because he got injured actually on the running play when, of course, no one could get open for most of the game and no one could block. So we had to kind of take it upon himself to run over 3 guys at the line, and that's probably when that happened, as he runs over 3 guys to get a first down because nobody else can help at this point. So that's probably when he got hurt. He didn't tell anybody. And then after the touchdown pass, the obvious grimacing, okay, you got to go into the tent. Let's see what's up. He walks off the field, by the way, with his left arm hanging down, limp, completely limp. I mean, go look at it. Baker Mayfield is walking off the field, and his left arm is completely limp to his side. He goes into the tent, comes out, he can move his arm. And now he's back in the game because he said he wanted to go back in the game. Something smells here. And I hope to God it is a very mild AC sprain. But it sure didn't look like it. And there has been some subterfuge. And again, this is what a lot of teams do. It hasn't been necessarily what the Bucs do over the years, but this is what teams do. It's pretty normal standard operating procedures. You're not going to, and if there's a chance the guy can play, they're not lying about it. And I'm sure there's a chance that he can play. But should he play? He's admitted that back in 2022, when he separated this same shoulder, he tried to play through it and it was a bad decision. And this is what coaches are for. Coaches need to use their eyes and not their ears and see that the guy can't play. And clearly, Baker was in severe pain. Bowls, I would not let him go back into the game. And we've seen this multiple times. Evans pulls up with a hammy, put him back in the game, and he's pulling hammy even more, and he's out for 5 weeks. We saw that last year. So this is not new, and it's miscalculation on my part. On the Bucs' part. Baker should never have gone back into that game. It was clearly not a winnable game. And even if it was a winnable game, I think there was on whether to put him back into the game. Again, we don't know for 100% sure, so it's hard to make any clear depictions of this. I'm just telling you, I have my doubts that it's a minor AC sprain. From what I saw in a dude that never shows pain, that looked a little bit more than minor. And that's just me. I hope to God that he can play this week, and I hope that he can play soon.
So I will say this, JP.
I would doubt it.
I'm not a medical doctor. I just play one on the radio. For all you young ladies out there that need a doctor. However, I've had a sprained AC joint on my non-throwing shoulder right here. And I will tell you, from what I've been told and what I experienced, even the most minor of sprained AC joints, because I thought I pulled my entire arm out of my socket. Like, I thought the entire arm was dangling. Yeah. There was bone, like it was just gone. The most minor of AC joint sprains can sometimes feel like that. Like it's extremely painful. So the amount of pain that he showed on the sideline and when all that was going on, to me, isn't indicative of the seriousness of the injury, because again, it can feel like your entire arm was ripped off when you mess with the AC joint. That said, even with the most minor of AC joint sprains, even if it's the non-throwing shoulder, in that situation, and I'm sure you addressed this with Nick yesterday, should he have been back in the game at that situation?
Hell no.
And it goes back to your thing with now, to me, this is different because you and I differ on the Chris Godwin thing against the Ravens last year. I had no problem with him still being in the game. But that's also the risk you take is what we're dealing with now with Chris Godwin. For Baker Mayfield, he's already dealing with an injury. So, no, you don't put him back in the game in that situation. That's why you went and got Teddy Bridgewater in the offseason, so you didn't have to put Baker Mayfield in those types of situations. So, to me, I'm baffled as to why he even went back into the game. And again, there are different situations with Godwin. He didn't have an injury. It was just, from what you and others think, a hopeless situation.
The game was out of reach.
But this game was. This game was way different. And that was a situation. And you wonder, was that a Bowles decision? Or was it one of the offensive assistants? Was it the position coach, that said, Bowles probably asked, hey, can he go? And if that's the situation, and we'll never know how this went down, but if Bowles asks somebody, can he go, other than Baker, because, Baker's going to say, yeah, I can go. That offensive coach who confirmed, yeah, he's good. He says he's good. That needs to be addressed. If it was just Bowles, if Bowles went to Baker and said, how do you feel? And Baker said, yeah, I'm good. Where do you lay the blame? Bowles can only go based on what his player tells him. So where do you draw the line here? Where, was it Baker's fault? Is it Bowles' fault?
Well, if I'm Ty Bowles, I'm not talking to Baker about it. I'm talking to him, but I'm listening to the doctors.
Yep.
Because Baker's going to be the Monty Python guy. Oh, merely a flesh wound when he's got both arms and both legs chopped off. It's just a scratch. just a scratch. Merely a flesh wound. I'm going to get you. No, it's just you can't listen to Baker. If I see my quarterback walking off the field with his arm limp, okay, walking and wincing every time he throws the football, he's not good to go.
Yeah. And
the game is not going well. And he is my critical piece to winning. He was my MVP candidate. I don't think this is a hard decision at all. It sometimes seems to me that Todd is so engulfed in the micro, calling defensive plays, and think about it. You're on national television on Sunday night, and your defense is getting embarrassed. Not, oh, we're not playing well. You're getting embarrassed. The other quarterback is 12 for 12. Every receiver is wide freaking open. They are moving down the field as if they're running a 7-on-7 drill. There is no pressure on the quarterback. Everyone is open. You look like a fool. Your entire defense is embarrassing. So dealing with that, and now what's going on with my quarterback, it's hard. I'm not giving him a pass, but it seems he gets so engulfed in the micro, he can't see the macro, right? Your quarterback is hurt. The game is out of reach. And you're a coach. I guess you don't think any game is out of reach. But if you couldn't see that, you had no chance of stopping these guys. You're overmatched. Your quarterback is hurt. Get him the hell out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're putting him back in and calling a timeout so you can do a Hail Mary from your own 35. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Can Teddy Bridgewater not throw a Hail Mary?
31-7. Exactly. Thank you. You call timeout. Can you not get that guy warmed up to throw the Hail Mary? Your quarterback's hurt. Is there nobody on the sideline that's helping him? Are they afraid to say things to Todd? Yo, quarterback's hurt. Let's put Teddy in. Let's just take a knee and get the hell to halftime.
Yeah.
It's just the macro and challenges that should have been made that weren't made. knowing that, the game's getting away from you already, you might as well, and he challenges plays that are clearly not going to work out. It's just the last few weeks have been really bad for Todd Bowles. The first part of the season, he was very aggressive. He's letting teams score touchdowns so their offense can come back and win games, and it's working. And then since the bye, it seems like he's like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going back to old Todd Bowles. How's that working? Listen, we knew this was going to be a tough stretch for the Bucs. No question about it. And it has been. And they haven't lost to any teams that they should have beaten. But they're also not competitive against the really good teams. That's pretty evident. And injuries obviously have taken a tremendous toll on this team. Tremendous toll on so many levels. And a lot of it is just up front. Yaya, Cansey, Vea, Reddick. That's a good front four. You had that for about a minute and a half. Mm-hmm. And then it's done. Now, Cansey and Reddick may be coming back. So, and this is kind of the way I wanted to set this up. A negativity guy, Bucs basement guy, would be saying, look, we don't know if these guys are coming back. This defense can't stop a nosebleed. The corners are bad. The safeties, may be good, but they can't do everything. There's no pressure on the quarterback. The inside linebackers, one is probably past his prime at least, and the other just is not an NFL starter. I mean, that's that from a defensive side. And from an offensive side, you cannot protect the quarterback in the interior. Your two guards are terrible. And your center is regressing because he doesn't have two good guards next to him. Graham Barton's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. He's going to be a good player. He can't play as a second-year guy with two guys next to him that can't block and can't pick up twists. He is a victim of the guys next to him who are not playing well. The interior of this Bucs offensive line is terrible. And Baker Mayfield had no chance from the get-go and hasn't for a few weeks, to be quite honest. You've got receivers that sometimes are getting open and Baker's not hitting them when he should. He's been late on some throws, but that's because he's completely skittish now because at the hike of the ball, he is getting pressure right up the middle, right in his face almost every single time, immediately. You can't run an offense that way. You cannot. So you've got one receiver in Ibuka who seems to win every now and then against man coverage. The other guys, it takes a little bit of time, and he doesn't have time, which allows the teams to kind of roll up for the run game. Then the run game gets tough. So it looks bleak right now. There are not a lot of answers, to be frank. Now, if you want to be positive, you can say, hey, Bucky's coming back. And Bucky should be back this week. And Baker hopefully can play this week. And hopefully Grizzard can start designing some things that will allow him to coach around the horrible interior of his offensive line, which is tough to do. If you're getting pressure in the run game and the pass game right off the rip, it's impossible to run an offense. It just is. You're going to roll out every single play, get him outside the pocket. It's tough to do, but you got to do it a lot more than you're doing it now. That's for sure. Like just dropping straight back is not the answer, clearly. So if I'm being optimistic, Grizzard's got to make some adjustments, get Baker on the move, or Teddy, or whoever it's going to be. Take advantage more of Bucky, the run game, the short pass game, because you can't protect. Even Tristan Wirfs is getting beat now, probably because his knee's not right.
Yeah,
he mentioned himself before the season, I got bone on bone. Oh, well,
so do
I
I.
was like, oh, I hope they fixed that. I hope they fixed it. But apparently, this is not the same Tristan Wirfs we've seen before.
So
JP,
my philosophy here is that this stretch that they're on of losing, and we're questioning play calling, we're questioning game planning, we're questioning everything right now. And we've kind of talked about Grizzard maybe not looking so good with some of the stuff that he's thrown out there. I have no doubt that his game planning, his play calling has been limited because Baker's not okay. We talk about Baker needing to roll out more. I don't think he can comfortably.
Yeah.
We
Maybe
talk
true.
about, when we talk about trying to, Baker's game is extending plays. That's his game. That's why he's successful. We saw it early in the year, and I've got a freaking hornet that's in my studio. Jesus.
It's all going so terribly wrong.
It is. What's happening right now? I feel like the Bucs.
That's distracting.
But so it's I think that all of these injuries, it's a snowball effect, right? Like now, even if you don't have guys out like Baker, you have to adjust your game plan and your play calling because he's not able to do the things that you normally rely on him to do.
Right.
That makes your team good.
Here's the
that
key
helps you win.
And here's the key, Tim. Early in the season, when you had these injuries, and we're saying, man, they are really doing well that they can beat these teams with these injuries. Look at the teams they were playing. Then you move into the better teams. You can't beat the better teams with injured players because the better teams not only have better players, but they have better coaching that are going to take advantage of your injuries. So you have been exposed. Your injuries have been exposed. And that's why we're like, oh, you banked those wins. You beat Seattle. That's great. Because you're gonna hit a lull, and they've hit the lull. Now the key is, can they come out of it? It is a very manageable schedule, and your injuries are more easily hidden against these bad teams. You can beat those bad teams with injuries. You can't beat the good ones. That's clear. So get healthy as the season goes on. Hopefully you can. You're gonna have a little mini bye after the Thursday game. So get some guys back. Cansey could be coming back. Bucky's coming back. J-Max coming back. We don't know how good they'll be when they come back, but there is a runway, Mr. Positivity. There is a runway to getting there. It's not, I think it's fraught with a lot of different, broken glass and some nails in the runway, but you might be able to do it. I mean, is this a Super Bowl season now? No, it's not a Super Bowl season anymore. It's not.
You hope you make the playoffs
and
now.
You're right now. You're just hoping you get another division win.
And that Panthers loss last night was big for the Bucs. Make no mistake.
Yes, and they didn't look great.
It's horrible.
JS says Baker listed as questionable. Is Teddy ready to start if needed? He didn't look ready. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He did not look ready.
I don't know what's going on there.
King's Sorrowful says if Bucs are smart, they sit him for at least 1 week. And guys, by the way, I know a lot of you, these are not your normal names because YouTube has changed something or StreamYard has changed something that we're not getting your old names. So I don't know if you could put your old names on the top of your message. Maybe that will help me because I hate saying JS813 guy.
Yeah, let us know who you are.
I know
out
it's
of our
Rick.
control.
Yeah, JP is late. He's a $1 trying out as the backup quarterback. Yeah, I gave it a shot. They said no. I sent him some of my 4th grade film, and they were like, what is this? I'm going to brag a little. I was an all-pro at every sport in elementary school. Throw it over that mountain. JP at quarterback, Nick at running back, and Tim is an edge rusher. That's about what we got right now.
Yeah.
Honestly. That's the actual lineup that we're putting out there.
I could do
yes. All right, Sergio Biltres says there's good news that Baker's injury is not the serious and probably will be questionable for this week's game. Plus, we get Bucky back, and the Panthers lost, so still first place in a bad division. That's the kind of positivity we need, Sergio. That's what we're talking about.
Hey, and don't forget, JP,
the Panthers' offense was terrible last night.
Don't forget, in the Rams game, as I put a positive bow on this, before we head into break, the Bucs defense held the Rams offense to 3 points in the second half. I'm just saying. Just saying.
No, Sean McVay held the Rams offense to 3 points in the second half. He was very kind because they could have hung 60. Easy. Easy. Michael LaRue says Cohen has won 7 games with Lawrence. Canales has 6 wins with Young, and Bowles has just 6 wins with Mayfield. Did the Bucs make a mistake by keeping Bowles while letting Cohen and Canales walk out of the building? Yes.
You won't convince me that Cohen walking was a mistake yet. I'm not a Cohen believer right now. Canales, maybe. I think Canales has done more with Bryce Young than Cohen has done with Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is not good.
He's not.
He's not.
But he's supposed to be.
Yeah. JS says, but the obfuscation of injuries and the classification of he took a great angle on that run. Put the obfuscation of it. Yeah. Or took a bad angle. We've seen a lot of that this year. Rick says, given Bowles' track record, Todd may put Baker on special teams. Good morning to you, Nathan Elliott. Appreciate you jumping in here. And stop. Whoever this is calling someone a turd, stop that stuff. We do not tolerate nasty name calling and being unkind in
Don't take advantage of the fact we don't know who any of you are right now. Don't take advantage of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Mr. King says, while Bowles had made questionable decisions in the past, if he talked to the medical staff and they said he was okay to play, that's not on him. That's true. That being, again, he's very engulfed in the micro of the game, calling the defensive plays. So I think there's, listen, if I see my quarterback in pain, wincing, and his arm dead by his side, and I'm in a game I can't win, I'm getting him out. These are the things that head coaches are paid to do and the decisions that they're paid to make. And I would, in my opinion, then there's no way that guy should have been back in the game. Nathan says, rest Baker until Carolina wins. At this point, we need to concede playoff seeding and be okay with the division title and 4 seed. Ideally, letting Baker rest 3 to 4 games and get Baker 100% for the playoffs. It's not a terrible idea. It's not a terrible idea.
Well, and that's why.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll get this.
That's why you went out and got.
Go ahead.
That's why you went out and got Teddy Bridgewater, theoretically, right? So you could do something like that. So you could spell Baker if he needed it for 3 games. Yet, for some reason, Teddy Bridgewater looks like he forgot how to play football.
Yeah, that's one half. I mean, we're not going to judge too much on it, but he needs to be better. That's for damn sure.
I'll judge the hell out of it.
Yeah, it didn't look good. It looked really bad, as a matter of fact. All right, we'll take a quick break. We're brought to you by the great folks at the Jeeves Law Group. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. If you're in need of an attorney in an accident situation or any legal situation, you get a free case evaluation at thejeeveslawgroup.com. Not attorney spokesman offices Tampa and St. Pete. And the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. The holiday sale is on. Great lease specials going on right now. But more than just the price of the car, folks, it is a great company to deal with, a great local company. Mike Murray, one of the new limited partners for the Rays, is owner of this great company, this great local company, and they've been doing great things in the community. But that's not the reason you buy a car there. Should be one of the reasons. But the reason is they're incredible cars and SUVs. You got to check them out. Great technology, great luxury, and the price and value are off the charts of Tampa.com. Back in 3. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine, and DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine, and DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. Great place to be watching football all this week, even on Thanksgiving weekend. Get on out there, enjoy some of those chicken wings after you get sick of turkey. Fantastic chicken wings, great hazy IPA beer that they make right there in their microbrewery. They make a sour there as well. That is absolutely fantastic stuff, and the food is always the best. The service is absolutely tremendous, and the prices are great. RivetersTampa.com is the website if you want to check it out. It's right there on Southdale Mabry, just south of the stadium, just north of 275, right next to that old spaceship right there. Riveters, great place. And a new Riveters coming in St. Pete as well soon. All right.
Is there one coming in Dallas anytime soon?
I'm not sure if they have one there or not, but if
They don't.
do, go
They
check it
don't.
out.
I would know.
Yeah. Because of Rosie the Riveter, they have an all-female staff.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah, which is nice.
I'm not going to a place called Sausages, JP. I'm going to a place called Riveters.
All righty then. Yeah, put
Just
the rivet in the hole. Right? That's how that works.
That's what I'm talking about, eh?
All right. On that note, let's bring in our good friend Scott Reynolds from the Pewter Report. What's up, my friend? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Is that a K-State shirt you got on there?
It is. Yes. It says "You're doomed." It's. I'm on to basketball season now. We're 4-1. We're going to be playing Indiana tonight. Love our basketball team. Football, not so much. But turning the page.
I like the passion of your coach this week, though.
Oh yeah, Chris Lyman. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I like that guy.
That was tough. I understand the economics of it. The Big 12 does not benefit if Kansas State beats Utah, which we should have. And usually I don't complain about officiating. I've never seen a more lopsided game where officials will throw the flag and pick it up. They will throw the beanbag indicating a fumble, but then not rule a fumble. And so
pretty blatant, yeah,
it was awful. I mean, it was, and we're kind of in this age of is it rigged? Is football really rigged? Right. And it's yeah, it is. It is. Not every game, not all the time, not all outcomes can be controlled, but there are some desired outcomes that leagues want to have happen.
Yes.
And Kansas State knocking a 12th ranked Utah team out of the potential playoff. There is a chance that the Big 12 gets two teams in the playoffs. You have
That's right.
Tech, you have BYU. Both of those teams have one loss. and then you have Utah, which I believe has 2 losses.
Yeah.
So
and there's a huge payout for the conference for that.
Huge,
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
So, so it's unfortunate. I've never seen a game where a team has rushed for over 400 yards and lost. And our defense didn't play well. But for example, I'll just give you one little nugget here. By rule of law, it is a law that, and you've seen it, whether it's Florida State or Kansas State, when there is a substitution, in other words, when players leave the field, right?
Yeah.
The officials will come in and they'll get over the center. You're not allowed to snap the ball.
Right.
Okay. And it is required by the team, the defensive team that can make substitutions at that time while the play is stopped. As long as the players are leaving the field at an athletic pace, which Kansas State had 2 defensive tackles jogging off, that's an athletic pace. They weren't walking. They have to clear the field.
Allow them to get off the field. Yeah.
Allow them to clear the field. Okay. And our guys were literally about a half a yard away from the sidelines. Then the official backs out. Utah snaps the ball. And the result of the play was we stopped them on 4th and 2. We would have taken the ball with about 4 minutes left. We had a 10-point lead at that time. Huge play.
Yeah.
And they blew a whistle for 12 men in the field.
Good
And
God.
by letter of the law, like that should never have happened. Like that is against the rules. And there is, to my knowledge, and I think the people at Kansas State, my media peeps that I follow, Go Powercat and stuff, they cannot find any ruling anywhere ever where that has been called. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is the problem, because it's such a direct conflict of interest, because yes, conferences would want to have the second team in.
Yes.
I think it's $12 million. It might be more than that now for the playoff berth. Okay.
It's massive. Yeah.
And what you need to do is get to the ACC, where they actually protect the underdogs against the favored teams like Florida State and Clemson. They have forever.
Yeah,
which is the most stupidest thing a conference can
know.
do, but that's how dumb the
They
ACC
actually
is.
work against the favorite teams
because
for
they hate
getting
FSU
it. Exactly.
so much, and Clemson.
Yeah.
They're always treated. It's the only conference I've seen do. The SEC gets it. The Big 12 gets it. They understand you protect your higher ranked teams, not in the ACC.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry you're not in a shit conference like the ACC, partner, but you're actually in a conference that understands how to protect the higher ranked teams. But so think of it that way. Once you get higher ranked, then they'll cheat for you.
Exactly. That's what the hope is. We want to get good enough to where they cheat for us. Yeah.
But to your point, to your bigger point now, with all that's going on in gambling and all the investigations that have happened and all the arrests that have been made, we question everything now.
I know.
Because they leave us great reason to question.
Of course.
Example that you just brought up.
Exactly right.
It's perfect. It's like it's unprecedented.
Yeah.
You screwed it up.
Mm-hmm.
And that game is over at that point. You have a 10-point lead. That game's over.
Yeah,
Not so
it
fast.
is. And the other thing too is like we went for a 2-point conversion in the end zone. There was a pass interference call. There was a flag that was thrown on Utah because there was pass interference. The ball ricocheted up into the air. Their safety caught the pass in the end zone and then returned it for a 2-point conversion, a defensive extra. Okay.
Yeah.
And because of the outcome of that play, the refs picked up the flag. And that's the thing. If we had tackled the guy where he didn't score, they probably would have just called it, right? But the fact that was a 2 points for Utah, the team that they wanted to win, they're going to let the play stand because that was the desired outcome. So, it's not the only time this has happened. Matter of fact, Utah, I think if you remember last year, their athletic director came out, and I forget which game it was because I don't follow Utah, but the athletic director came out and actually lambasted the officials. I think he got fined big time, and the school did. But he basically said, we won that game. The officials stole it from us. This is the AD coming out and saying this, ripping the Big 12 officials. So, like, they get it. But that was during the down year when Utah was 5-7 last year, and now Utah is winning, and they're just like, sorry,
Yeah.
And how much of this you think Scott has to do with it there in the Big 12? We're positioning for playoff hopes, right?
Correct.
Utah has outside hopes. They're not really going to, but they kind of do. It's going to be between BYU and Texas Tech, I think, for sure, in the Big 12. Maybe I see a scenario where there's both.
I think what's going to happen is you're going to have BYU and Texas Tech as in the Big 12 championship game,
right?
And then what they're going to try to say is because out of the power teams, the Big 12 is looked upon as like little brother, right? We're not the SEC, we're not the Big 10, and all of that. So I think what Brett Yormark, the athletic director or the conference commissioner, is trying to do is position Utah as another team and say, okay, well, because it'd be really simple for the playoffs to say, well, we can only take one. Sorry, we'll take your champion, right?
Yeah.
And so the loser, whether it's Texas Tech or BYU, and I think Texas Tech's going to win it this year. Yeah. But they would say, sorry, you guys lost. If you would have won the conference championship, you would have got it. But if he can position another team there and say, okay, well, what about Utah, right? Yeah. If you're going to say, oh, you didn't win your conference, well, we have another team that's right there.
That's right there.
And it almost forces the playoffs to say, okay, well, you have three teams really that are playoff worthy. Well, I guess we have to take two now, right? We can't take three, but we can take two. And I think that's what they're trying to do. It's almost like in sales where it's like, you come in with the high bid, you come in with the bid that is reasonable, and then you come in with the low bid, right? And you kind of like psychology applies, and you're like, okay, well, I'm the buyer and I want to take the low bid because it's the cheapest cost, but, and then I try to come in and say, well, yeah, but A has got this,
That's right.
And then, like, all right, we'll settle on B. And as the seller, I'd be like, okay, B is actually what I wanted. So
what I wanted in B.
And I think it comes down to this as far as that goes and who gets into the college football playoff. If Texas Tech beats BYU in the Big 12 title game, it's Texas Tech. BYU is out. If BYU beats Texas Tech in that unlikely scenario, in my mind, I think they both get in. I don't think that Texas Tech is out with a loss because
I hope
they're
not.
number 5 right now.
I hope not. I'm just saying. I saw I saw an undefeated Kansas State team in 1998 with Michael Bishop and Martin Gramatica.
Oh yeah.
I saw an undefeated Kansas State team go from losing in overtime to Texas A&M in the Big 12 championship game to going all the way down to the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a history of this
different
conference
era though now.
I
get it.
Well, I know, but this conference has consistently gotten screwed.
So, I agree.
Wait, since Texas Tech will get in as an at-large anyway, wait till you see how they screw them out of the BYU game. Because they're going to have to make a lot of calls to make BYU win that game based on the first time they played.
And honestly, it's like, it hasn't really done wonders for Missouri. It kind of has for Texas A&M this year, for sure. But there's a reason why you've seen Missouri, Texas A&M, Texas, Oklahoma leave the Big 12 to go to the SEC.
Yeah,
because as the fourth best team in the SEC, they'll have a better chance of getting in rather than the number 2 team in the Big 12. The way it's skewed, it's just how it is.
And it all started in 1991 when Arkansas left the Southwest Conference to go to the SEC. That was the beginning of the end for the Southwest Conference, and now everybody sees.
Yes,
that's
correct.
That
Rick is exactly right. That is exactly right, Rick. We are avoiding stalling. Yes.
Rick says the Bucs stalling. He's avoiding Bucs.
All right.
Well,
I
think we nailed it last week when we said the Bucs are not going to win this game, even though Tim thought
they're going to get their ass kicked in.
Tim was
very optimistic.
Didn't think it was going to be by that much, but
his opiates kicked in, and he thought the Bucs could beat the
Rams.
Rams.
I thought they'd win.
No. So let's start with Baker. And I started this show with saying there's been, and you can correct me here if you like. There's been a lot of subterfuge as far as injuries go this year. Is that correct? I mean, is that a fair statement? I think in years past, injuries have been more clarified. This year, everything seems to be a little weird and wonky. We're not getting a whole lot of answers, and guys are out longer than we think they're going to be and all that. So when I heard a mildly sprained AC, I went, based on what I saw in the game, Baker doesn't show pain, and he showed a lot of pain, and his arm was dead by his side. And I'm like, my eyes are not matching up with what my ears are hearing here. And based on the short history of injury stuff this year, I'm a little skeptical. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. We'll have to wait to see what Dr. Bull says tomorrow. He comes out in his white lab coat, and proclaims Baker's got a shoulder, because that's what he does. He's got a foot. He's got a foot and a shoulder, like that with Bucky. Like that's what it is. So I love that. I don't know. I mean, It is.
Hey,
what
we
it
don't
is.
know.
Yeah, we don't know. And I'll say this: no excuses. Liz, I think there's and I'm saying this in a Pewter Pulse. I'm kind of giving some of this away. There's a fine line between excuse and reason, right? Like, is it a reason or is it an excuse?
Yeah.
We have to look at this realistically and say the Buccaneers have beaten a couple of good teams this year, and they have won the winnable games as well. The teams they've lost to, out of the 5 losses, 3 of them are division leaders right now. None of them have fewer than 7 wins. Okay. So the Buccaneers are not a great team. They're certainly not an elite team. They're a good team as of right now. But this team has not had that stub your toe loss. That they have not lost to a team with a losing record yet. They cannot afford to do that in these next 3 games. If you want to be a good team, you've got to win the winnable games. These are 3 winnable games. Excuses are out the window this week. The Cardinals are as banged up as the Buccaneers are. Okay, the next 3 opponents have got backup quarterbacks in. So there's no excuse right now. I don't care about Mike. I don't care about Chris. I don't care about Hassan, Baker. It doesn't matter. Coach and win the game. Come up with strategies to, and I don't care if you play not to lose. I don't care if this is a 17-16 win on Sunday. I don't give a crap. But you've got to beat the Cardinals. There's no excuse, none, for losing to the Cardinals. This is a 3-8 football team. There is no excuse, none, for losing to the Saints the next week. They're a 2-win football team. The Falcons, let's see how these 2 games go, because Kirk Cousins is Todd Bowles' kryptonite. Okay, yep. We're gonna focus on the task at hand here, which is Arizona. We'll leave the the Falcons for another day. But this is it. You have enough playmakers. You have enough. If you are a good coach, Josh Grizzard, if you are a good coach, Todd Bowles, you will find a way to get this win. And I don't care how it looks. I really don't. Yeah. 10-7, 38-31. I don't care. But like there's no excuses, no explanations. If the Buccaneers lose to the Cardinals, they're no longer a good team. You can't say that anymore. This is it goes from good panic to bad. Yeah, because you're at 6-6 now. Technically, you could say they're average. Okay, fine. You lose to the Saints the next week, then you're bad. But that's where we are. We're at the week of no excuses, no explanations. That was a sign that Tony Dungy, remember this, JP? Tony Dungy had that in the Bucs locker room. You know, a small little sign. No excuses, no explanations. Right there for all the players to see. And I loved it. I thought that was great. And excuses, you can say that injuries are an excuse. I think they're a reason against better teams. If the Buccaneers had Cody Malk, Bucky Irving, Mike, Chris, right, Kalijah Cansey, did they beat the Rams? I don't know, but damn it, I like their chances a lot better, right? No. Did they beat the Bills? They might beat the Bills. Did they beat the Patriots? They might beat the Patriots in Tampa if you had all of that. So in those games, I look at those injuries as kind of, as a reason why they lost those games, right? Because this roster was not as talented as the Patriots, not as talented as the Patriot or the Bills, certainly the Rams.
Or the Rams, yeah.
But with those players back, you have a chance. But against a team that has 18 players on IR like the Cardinals do, injuries aren't a reason if you lose that game. Then they just become an excuse.
Right.
And there's a difference between those two.
Yeah, you look at the 2 lines of scrimmage right now, and some of the commenters were ripping Jason Light about the defensive line, and I said, well,
they should.
The plan was Yaya, Cansey, Vita, Reddick. And for the minute and a half we had that, they were good. And they played well.
Yeah.
That hasn't been, we may get back. And here's the thing, we might get back to that at the end of the season, which it would be huge, right? Offensive line. We did not plan on Michael Jordan and Feeney.
Correct.
And by the way, those 2 guys have evidently stunted the growth of Graham Barton in the middle, because the interior of this offensive line is terrible.
Yeah.
And last night or Sunday night, it was on display. Baker had no chance.
Yeah.
Teddy had.
And you're right about Barton. And I think that is, you can be an elite center without having good guard play, but when you're an up and coming center like Graham Barton is, having Cody Malk and Ben Bredesen makes you look better. It just helps. I mean, when you're flanked by two really capable guards, that's good. It helps you. When you've got two practice squad guards on either side of you, that hurts you. And so I think we've seen that. And yeah, I think you're right.
Is there any quick fix there for the guards, especially?
No,
because Feeney is the best we got.
I think Hagman, coming in, or Hageman. I think Hageman coming in. Luke, I'm sorry,
Haggard.
Hageman. Luke Haggard. Yes,
Haggard.
Luke Haggard. I think Luke Haggard coming back would be better than Feeney.
If Feeney's bad. Oof. He's really bad.
I don't know. I kind of take turns.
Everybody looks bad right now.
Every other play, I pick one. I'm like, oh, you're the worst one. No, it's you. Actually, it's you. No, it's you. No, I don't know. I think getting Ben Bredesen back, I would go with Ben Bredesen when he's
healthy.
Would be
huge.
That would be huge at left guard, and then you put in Luke Haggard at right guard.
Yeah, I think that would be
or Luke
a huge upgrade. Yeah, I think Elijah Klein evidently is not good enough to play.
No, he's not.
I don't know. I don't know what happened to him.
He's a six-round pick. He's a six-round pick.
I know. But there was some. I thought he had some nice moments in training camp. His feet are good. He looks good.
He's better as a backup
overpowered.
Center. He's better as a backup center. I don't know that he has the build to play guard and hold up at this level, and that's okay because, if you look back at Robert Hainsey, he was a right tackle at Notre Dame. They drafted him. They thought he might be a guard, but then he actually turned out to be a better center because he didn't have the build to stand up against one-on-ones. When you're a center, you get the double team a lot, right? And that's where not having a bunch of size can help because it's not always you unless they're playing, an odd man front where you've got a nose guard, a nose tackle right over your center, and you've got two defensive tackles over the guards, forcing you to have one-on-ones up front. That's that's where centers that don't have a lot of size, don't have a lot of strength can get exposed in those type of fronts. Not good
Situation, but hopefully they can get some guys back there as well.
Yeah.
What do you make of the defensive backs at this point? Zion had a terrible game.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think he's a terrible
5
player.
touchdowns this year. I mean, he hasn't had a good year. He's been average at best. And I don't know how. Listen, the contracts can mess people up, and I think it was a mistake. I raised my eyebrows when they gave him the contract when they did, and thank God they didn't give a contract extension to Cade Otton because they were talking about that too. I mean, I'm sorry, he's not worth $12 million a year or $10 million a year, whatever. Yeah. Wear some gloves, man. Like they help.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, and I understand like he's a throwback player, whatever, dude. It's like when 95% of the league that catches the ball, in other words, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, safeties, cornerbacks, right? When 95% of the league is wearing gloves, like, shouldn't you? I mean, it helps you.
Yes.
If you've ever seen the gloves, they're as tacky as can be. There's no need for stick 'em anymore, like back in the Lester Hayes days. We started watching football. Because the gloves are sticky as it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's
when the ball's getting ripped out of your hands.
Exactly. By a guy with gloves who he sticks on there and just rips it right out. And he's a little old DB. That's embarrassing. If I'm Cade Otton, honestly, I'm embarrassed at that. I'm a grown man, 255 pounds, and I'm letting some little DB rip the ball out of my hands. And here's the thing. It's like, if you have gloves, it helps you catch the ball so you don't bobble. And then once you have it, it helps your grip on the ball.
Hold on to it. Yeah.
So remember, this is the second time this has happened. He had an interception. And poor Baker Mayfield, he's thrown 2 interceptions that are totally on Cade Otton. Remember 100%. The Lions play where he tried to catch the ball. It wasn't a great pass, but he's trying to catch the ball, and he had his hands on it, and so did the Lions DB. The Lions DB ripped it out of his hands. So, can't have that, man.
I think after that first Otton drop, I posted on social media, don't even let him get back on the plane. Just cut him now. I've got it out for Cade Otton, dude. I'm not a Cade Otton fan.
Where's Devin Colt? Where's Payne Durham? They don't even have a catch this year.
Part of the problem. If they can't beat this guy out, then that might say something. I don't know. But the other thing, dude,
or is it Grizzard? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
Grizzard didn't want to use Sean Tucker when Bucky got hurt for whatever reason. The other tight ends are just not even in the mix whatsoever. They were very much in the mix last year.
Bucs are the only team that does not have a touchdown pass to a tight end in the league.
Yeah.
So take that for what it's worth. At the same time, Tez Johnson has 5. I mean, he's pretty good. But I will say this, back to your point about Zion. It's in his head. And I remember talking to Ryan Jensen. Remember when Ryan Jensen first got to Tampa, we all think of Ryan Jensen for what? Winning a Super Bowl, the knee injury and all that stuff.
Big bad man, yeah.
Yeah, Big Red. His first year was awful in Tampa Bay. It really was. And I remember him opening up to me after about halfway through his second season. So I think he came in 2018. This was 2019. And he said, yeah, man, I came in. I got fat cat. I was overweight. I was about 15, 20 pounds overweight.
Contract got him.
I got comfortable. I got my big contract, right? And I relaxed. And then I was really embarrassed about how I played. And I don't know if that's happening to Zion or not. But this is a guy that at least had a couple interceptions last year. I think he forced a fumble or 2 last year. He's made 0 plays this year. He's gotten picked on. He's become docile in coverage. It's not at all what you wanted. And I think, too, it's like if you're going to make Antoine Winfield Jr., who had already been to the Pro Bowl in 2021, right, had helped this team win a Super Bowl, but you made Antoine Winfield Jr. play his contract year, right? And he balled out all pro season, right? I mean, 6 forced fumbles, 6 interceptions, all the sacks, whatever he had. 6 sacks, I think, 4 interceptions. If you're going to make him, Mike Evans, those guys play for their contract years, I understand why they did it. At $16 million, he's the 22nd highest paid cornerback. They thought, well, Zion's a really good corner, probably going to have a really good year. We can get him now for a steal.
Cheaper. He didn't want what happened to Antoine happened to Zion.
Exactly. But it backfired.
The price goes up.
Yeah. Because the thing is, I honestly, I would rather have paid Zion $20 million next year and then know exactly what I'm getting if he had like 4 interceptions and 13 pass breakups and stuff. I would have rather have gone that route because now you've got him for 2 more years at $16 million. And it's like, who do you have?
He ain't worth it.
He
wants that money going to Dean. Yeah. Brutal. All right. What's coming up the rest of the week for Pewter Report and their Thanksgiving offerings? What are we doing this week?
Our Pewter Report podcast tomorrow. We're not going to have a podcast on Thursday or Friday, but we will have one tomorrow. It's our Bucs Cardinals preview. Make sure you check that out on Pewter Report TV. We'll still have some Pewter Pulse videos and some great stories on pewterreport.com all week. So make sure you check that out. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram at Pewter Report. And happy Thanksgiving,
Scotty,
everybody.
Great stuff, my friend. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
buddy.
it.
We'll see you, Scott.
Happy Thanksgiving, brother.
Happy Thanksgiving to you
finally
guys.
get home. All right. Mike Nabors is in the house. We will take a break. We'll come back on the other side, and he and I will I have no idea where this is going, but it's going to be fun. I guarantee you that. Absolutely going to be fun. So we'll take a quick break. We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. Hey, folks, at the end of the year, it's always good to do that insurance checkup. All you got to do is call them, tell them what you're doing with your insurance, what you're paying, and they will shop all the different companies that they represent, great companies, and see if they can find you a lower rate or better insurance. Sometimes you're not fully covered. 40% of folks are not fully covered on their home. So that's another thing they can fix for you. And make sure you're getting all your discounts on your homeowner's insurance as well. They know the game. You don't. Let them do all the work. You save all the money. It's pretty simple. 813-877-7799. ItalianoInsurance.com. Back in 3 with Mike Nabors. Stay with us. It's the holiday season, so come visit the wonderland of jewelry at the Gold and Diamond Source with over 25 times the inventory and selection of the average jewelry store. Guys, get your shopping done early, and if you have no idea of the trends and styles that your lady wants, that's cool. The incredible staff led by Julie and Steve Weintraub and family will offer up some great ideas with no pressure. They offer everything for the first-time jewelry buyer to the most exquisite selection of museum-quality pieces. Enjoy a comfortable, relaxed atmosphere and experienced staff, geologists, jewelers, and designers for all your jewelry needs. From the luxurious jewelry boxes to their VIP customer care, there's many reasons to make sure it's a Gold and Diamond Source diamond. Keep it local this holiday season. Shop online anytime at goldendiamond.com or just come by their showroom at 3800 Overton Road and always online at goldendiamond.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man, Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Are you looking for an honest AC and plumbing company? I mean, that's like trying to find a humble Saints fan, right? Well, try my friends at Third Generation AC and Plumbing Services. Been in business since 1995 here locally. And listen to what one of their customers said. Quote, the gentleman providing the service was exceptional, on time, knowledgeable, professional, and experienced. He was efficient, cleaned up behind himself, and did the work expeditiously. He not only repaired a sink, he repaired our toilet that was constantly running. We have used this company several times. They are awesome. Says it all, folks. Testimonials really say it all. Call 813-961-8024 for honest, fast service. 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com. We also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here as we roll on what is it, Tuesday? It's Thanksgiving Tuesday, and I am thankful for so many things, including all of these advertisers that you see all over the screen here. The great folks at Riveters, the Genesis of Tampa, KingmakersTampa.com, Don'tGoUncovered.com, the Jeeves Law Group, the Golden Diamond Source, On-Site Construction, Third Generation Plumbing, Cafe Paradiso. We thank all of you, Bay Area Modern Medical Center as well, all of you for making this possible and allowing me to chat with you about Tampa Bay sports. And I still think we're the only 2-hour live stream / podcast that covers all the different sports in Tampa Bay, which is pretty cool. So I hope
I believe that's accurate. Yeah.
And the numbers are good. The numbers are good. All right, I want to welcome in a longtime colleague of mine, a former intern, the great Mike Nabors, who walked into my office in 1988, I think it was, in Tallahassee.
Yeah, you sent me the
Go get that a little closer there to your mic.
you sent me the day planner. I don't know if you remember that.
I did.
Years ago.
I did.
From 1988. How did you still have that?
I was moving for the 17th time, and I pulled out this book, and I'm like, holy, this is my old day planner.
Yeah.
And boy, all the phone numbers that were in there were kind of interesting too. Brought back a lot of memories, and Yeah, it said right there, December. I think it was like a December day. It said Mike Nabors, possible intern or something.
Right. Well, your predecessor, Fabrizio, Mike Fabrizio.
Yeah, Mike Fabrizio. Yeah,
I saw him in a gym in Tallahassee. My folks had moved to Tallahassee after high school, and local sportscasters were different back then.
Yeah, we were gods.
You were. You were. I mean, that's how we consumed everything, right?
Yeah.
We
had 4 freaking channels.
Absolutely. Well, that was before Fox too.
Right. Yeah.
But I knew I wanted to do it forever. And when I saw him in the gym, I just walked up to him and I said, "Do you need any help?" And he said, to my surprise, "Here's my number. Call me tomorrow." We had a great summer. And then he left. And then I thought, well, I'm going to have to start over again. And then you reached out to me because you replaced him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which shows you, I talk to my students all the time. There's no one way to get a job, an internship, anything.
Yeah.
But you got to ask.
Yeah. So I guess just to show, set this up, Mike Nabors, long time, started as an intern for me, and then it's gone on to incredible things. And now you're teaching the next generation of sportscasters at Florida Southern, right?
I'm in sport management. I'm teaching sports media. I'm teaching sports marketing. I'm teaching management. Actually, they had me in a introductory to the business school class too.
Yeah.
So
wow,
we could talk about this, but the things that we've done over the last 30 plus years translate to so many things. I mean, if you would have told me 5 years ago, this is what you're going to be doing, I would have said you're crazy. But, and I'm not one of those that, I'm so glad to be away from TV. I loved everything, even the bad times. It made you appreciate the good times.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. But I treasure all those memories, but I also really like what I'm doing now. And I never thought I would. And I think that's a message to a lot of people. You think this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. Well, you can still do it, but you can do other things too.
Yeah, you'll learn. And that's your book, Don't Quit, Pivot. You can't really see it. There you go. And we're going to talk about this in a little bit. But yeah, so Mike has been a local anchor at 38 here locally in Tampa. Yeah. Give me the whole resume. You've done so much. I forget.
I've had a crazy run in Tampa. I mean, I did local news in Tallahassee, Tuscaloosa first in Tallahassee, went to Jacksonville. I think my big break was Fox Sports Net. They started the regional network, and we were, I was a regional reporter, and there were 3 in the state. Actually, Sage Steele was here in Tampa.
Yeah.
And Joe Zagacki, the voice of the Hurricanes, was in Miami. I was the North Florida reporter.
Yeah.
Sage left. I replaced her. And then, unfortunately, we had 9/11, and it just changed the business in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We were all laid off, but then I got the Lightning job. I was the TV host. I'm the guy after Aaron Andrews, before Paul.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And after that, I worked locally. And then I just out of nowhere, I felt like every time I'm done with the business, because I was never fired, but we go through layoffs.
Yes, we do.
And there's different reasons why. And a lot of times it's not us, it's just the business.
Oh, it is. Every time it's happened to me, it's never me.
No, but
the ratings are always great.
But it's nothing that we didn't get fired.
No, because the business changes so dramatically.
Absolutely. But I was actually interviewing locally for a marketing job because I work for WB38, and I could tell you stories about that place, but God bless them. They promised a lot and just didn't deliver. And I hate talking about that. But after they laid all of us off, I thought, you know what? I have 2 really young children. I'm getting out of this.
I got to get a real job.
Yeah. I interviewed for a marketing job in town, and it was like one of those deals where it's like 80 interviews, you finally get it. And the day that I accepted it, I had a former boss from Miami who hired me at Fox Sports Net. They said, "We want to bring you in and be the TV host for the New Orleans Saints. You could do the preseason. We'll have you travel around during the regular season, all these things." And I didn't want to take it because I just didn't trust the business. But I talked to my bosses. They said, "You can do that in this." So that morphed into me being the TV host for the Saints for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And I would go back and forth, and I had a great relationship with Drew Brees. I wrote a book with him. That was my first book, and crazy story how that came together too. But I felt like every time that I was going to leave the business, I had an opportunity. Like
just when you thought you're out,
absolutely.
It brings you back in.
Absolutely. But I love the business. I still love the business. It's a great business. And that's why I want to teach and tell kids that, you know what? It's not the same business when we entered it. but it's different. And there's so many more opportunities, frankly. They're just different opportunities than when we entered, you know?
Yeah, you said that we've had a chance to do so many things. And sometimes when I reflect, it freaks me out.
Yeah.
Like I was on halftime with Bob Costas.
Yeah.
When Chris Sims' spleen almost came out of his body. Yeah. And I did it at a halftime hit in front of the hospital with Bob freaking Costas, like 25 million people.
Right.
And the worst possible thing happened to me, as you know, doing a live shot. Mix minus in my ear.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. He's throwing it to me. And I told the whoever was the producer at the freaking network. You think, I mean, we were doing, doing local stuff. You always have, you know, people filling in, they're inexperienced, they don't hit the button. And what happens in a live shot is you start talking and you hear your delay 2 seconds later. Right. And it's impossible to talk, almost impossible to do that. And I told the engineer, I said, hey, I'm getting feedback. So when we go live, so I'm sitting there waiting for Bob Costas to throw it to me, and now I hear him in my ear. And let's go to JP Peterson, and I'm like, Lord, please don't have the make it. And I start talking, and here it comes.
And you try to slow down, but it's not natural to do that.
No,
it's not.
And I fought through it, and I got it, and it came out. I'm like, please don't ask me a question. Don't ask me a follow-up. And he didn't. And thank God I was done. I got through it.
People don't realize the little things. I saw Troy Aikman last night in the pregame show. You know, you're at an arena, and they're testing the mic. I remember all the pregame shows we did in Carolina with the Saints. Yeah. They had the loudest Jumbotron. Yeah. And it would always be the moment where they would test the music during when they would throw to me. It's like your Bob Costas story. Yeah. You're trying to slow down mentally and verbally, but it's almost impossible. But Troy Aikman last night said, guys, I can't hear you. I think you asked me about Brock Purdy. I'm just going to answer the question. Yeah. But it happens to everybody. Yeah. It really does.
No, we got so many stories like that. What was the most terrifying moment on live TV for you? That was mine.
Wow. Terrifying moment on live TV.
I've had a few.
I tell my students all the time that you're in a post-game situation. I was actually with Jeremy Shockey in San Francisco, and you never knew what you were going to get with Shockey, frankly. And there were a couple guys in the background. It was after a Monday Night Football game, and I thought, me of all people, you know, I'm not 6'5", 290 pounds or anything. I thought I was going to have to potentially separate them, but Shockey was in a good mood because they won. And just kind of laughing it off. But initially, you know how it is when you're live. Yeah, it's almost free game sometimes. Yeah. You don't know. I mean, anybody can jump on. Yeah, it depends on, you know, kind of where you are, who you're working for. But I thought at that moment that it was going to be maybe a fight, and I'd be in the middle of it, and they're tossing to me, and I only need Jeremy Shockey for about 4 minutes. But that's what comes to mind. You know, I remember covering Daytona a lot, and when Earnhardt passed away. Yeah. It was emotional because it was.
Yeah, I was there that day as well.
Were you really?
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, Chris Myers, a mutual friend of ours.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I could say this now, but there was a big wreck that day. It was Tony Stewart. It was Jeff Gordon. It was a bunch of them before the Earnhardt wreck had happened. So we got all the sound, and I go back because when I was working for Fox Sports Net, we were doing national stories, and Chris Myers, I would deal with him because he would intro the stories. And he actually took me aside and he said, you're not going to do that story. Earnhardt passed away. And I just remember it wasn't obviously like Shockey or like the Bob Costas story, but just the gravity of the story and the emotion of it. And you thought, you know what? You have to all of a sudden change your mindset, but you're a human being too. And this is pretty powerful. Yeah.
I remember from that day was, and this is how it worked. When somebody got hurt, they would go to the infield care center, right? And the ambulances would come out, and then all the media would go. We'd typically be in the pit area, and then we'd walk back to the trailer, all of us, and we'd be waiting outside, waiting for the driver to come out, right, or somebody to come out and give us, the news on what's happening. And we were all waiting there. I don't know if you remember this. We were all waiting there, and the longer we waited, and then you saw people running in, and it was just, something is drastically wrong. Something is. And I also remember looking at the replay going, It's nothing.
Exactly.
It looked like nothing.
Exactly.
Because he kind of got clipped on that back turn. And he just kind of turned in. It looked like he just kind of turned into the wall when actually he came out and then slammed straight into the wall. And he didn't wear a Hans device, so his neck, basically his head probably came off or whatever. But I remember people coming out, and it was just people were crying. It was we're like, oh, this is, but they wouldn't say anything.
Right.
Remember, they would, no, he's going to be fine. They lied. There's going to be fine. They didn't want to announce it. And we all knew something terrible had happened, but we couldn't talk about it. And we're all doing our live shots after the game, after the race. And yes, he's been taken to Halifax Medical Center, blah, 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 blah. We all knew he was dead, but we couldn't say it.
Yeah, the first indication I think we had from, because I was watching it on TV, and I think the first indication on TV we had that something was horribly wrong was Ken Schrader waving at the medical staff to hurry up. And then you saw a little bit later, you saw Dale Jr. running from the infield to running to somewhere. And you had an idea, at least on TV, that this was worse than it looked.
Was it Mike Helton who was the head of NASCAR?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
we were in that press conference. I don't know if do you remember that press conference where there were a lot of photographers there? A lot of people were going live, but I was in there with trying to remember the ESPN reporter there. We're both holding probably combined 30 microphones.
Yeah,
and it was you knew what was going on, but again, you couldn't say anything. You had to be sensitive. It was just obviously just tragic in so many ways.
Yeah, some of the history that we've seen, just even working in Tampa, being able to work a Super Bowl in San Diego, the Bucs win, and I think it was on the air till about 2:30 in the morning live, really? Just taking guest after guest after guest. People were coming out. Brad Johnson, Allstott, and everybody I'm interviewing family members on just
so awesome.
It was just,
that's what the beauty of TV.
Yeah, that was it. That was the moment for me.
I'll tell you the best
was my
moment
favorite.
I had. And I was working for the Lightning then. It was weird watching. I think we're in Philadelphia or something when the Bucs won. But when the Saints won the NFC Championship game and they're going to their first Super Bowl ever, Sean Payton had this tent outside the locker room. And you never knew who was in the tent. I have just unbelievable stories from the tent. The tent was crazy because it'd be family members. And then I remember after the no call, remember the Rams game, Vince Vaughn comes out of the tent, of all people. And he just looks at me and he said, boy, that must have been a fun post game, huh?
Yeah.
But after they won the NFC Championship game, this is crazy. Because I really can appreciate your Bucs experience. Because I had so many with the Saints run. And now that I'm removed from it, I really appreciate it more because see how bad the Saints are.
Yeah.
Or how they're rebuilding. But who comes out of the tent? Because the cooling off period, you got to kill some time before you get players. Jimmy Buffett walks out of the tent. and he's walking up, and this was like a weird dream you have or something. He's holding a margarita. And he walks up to me, and I got to kill time. And I said, have I ever told you this?
No.
He walks up to me, and I said, Jimmy, Mike Nabors, in the local and New Orleans regional network here, can you join us? And he said, F yeah. and he comes up.
Live on TV?
No, this is before I'm setting it up. And so it was like choreographed at that point. One of the still photographers I knew real well brought us a newspaper with the headline, Jimmy Buffett comes in. And that would have been enough. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, you've been a Saints fan for a long time. They're going to the Super Bowl. How special is this for you? He said, I've been a Saints fan so long. I was an innocent virgin walking around Bourbon Street. I love the Saints so much. And that would have been enough, right? But then Sean Payton, who is tough with the media, he's tough. Yeah. He comes out of nowhere with the NFC Championship trophy, joins us, kisses Buffett, and the three of us just are live TV for about 3-4 minutes.
How about that?
It was fantastic.
Yeah. Any other name dropping stories you got?
Well, Kenny Chesney, I'll say this out of the tent. The tent had so many.
The tent had a lot of stories.
You never knew who
was the next book. The tent.
Yeah, maybe. And I just we're friends here. We'll just share stories here. This is what's great is you and I don't need prep.
No,
we'll just roll it out here. Kenny Chesney after a Monday night game, and they beat the Patriots, and it was just a crazy game. And I said, "Can I get you real quick?" And he just said, "I've had too many. I can't come on with you." He said, "But." And he came back to me later. He said, if these guys make it all the way, I'll join you. So the same day we got Buffett, I see Chesney in the tent, and he remembered. And he looked at me. He's like, I got to do this, don't I? I said, absolutely.
Yes, you do.
So what was great is Chesney joins me, and the guys throw to me. And I said, finally, guys, somebody my height, Kenny Chesney.
I think I had him for a Lightning interview, and we have a little box that I stand on in the room, and I'm like, "Okay, you get the box." He looked at me
you don't
like,
need a box, dude. I'm the guy that needs the box.
No, because of the camera angle.
Oh, I got you.
I need a box or whatever.
I
But
got you.
I was like, he looked at me like, "You dick."
Yeah.
I thought he was like really like angry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then he just started laughing. They just started. God, we could go on and on stories. You guys, you got questions? Hit us up, and we'll try to answer the questions. This JS says, "What happens in the tent stays in the tent." Like, yeah, maybe that's
not on this show.
Yeah, what happens in the tent is now coming out of the tent. That's the title of the book. Maybe if you do that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So one of the things I want to talk about is the changing of the business. Like, see if I can grab one of these.
Yeah, you gotta grab it.
Yeah. Start. How far back we go in the 80s?
Yeah, you know what? I was telling my class yesterday that they have it easy in terms of saving money on shipping. We would have to ship tapes to people, VHS tapes, or you got the big dog right there. You got the 3/4 inch tapes.
Oh yeah, this is
good stuff here.
This is not the film that Gail Sirens would show me that she used to handle, but this is.
Oh my goodness,
this is an old. So this is called a 3/4 inch tape because it's, as you can see, it's 3/4 inch right there. It's and this is what we used to put into a big deck. That was about, I said deck, about that one, about 30 pounds. Back in the day, it was weighed more than you did.
Oh my gosh.
This says 3rd quarter Bandits versus Boston Breakers.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what that is. These are old tapes from Channel 44 that TJ gave me the other day. Where I used to work. So that's a 3/4 inch tape. This is a beta tape? This is another huge tape.
If anybody out there knows how to dub down a 3/4 inch tape, they got to help us.
Yeah, I think John Wilson has Paul and John Wilson have a whole entourage. This is this is a 1/2 inch beta tape. Right? A Betacam, Betacam SP. This is the Bucs 1988. So this is how far we go back, and we used to take our 3/4 inch big old decks. That's right, decks. I said, and then the camera itself weighed another 35 pounds. Down to the Moore Athletic Center to interview Charlie Ward and Warwick Dunn and Coach Bowden. It was a different time, and everything has changed. Everything has changed from since we started in the business, and it's kind of a blessing. We've gone from, I was just on the outside of film, but with the first electronic media, that to now we go out and we use these to do packages on the iPhone.
I think it's an opportunity for a lot of young people in college. If you're listening to this, the business has changed, and we know a lot of people who don't like the business anymore because of that, because it's just not newspapers. It's not local news. It's not, sports talk radio is different now.
It's way different.
It's all different across the board. But if you're in college now, you can start a podcast. If you find a unique market where people can, you've created something here that's unbelievable. This is an example of it, but I look back at the business and we know people, I'm not bitter about it. I think it's great. I enjoyed every minute of it, but I like to teach because I want to let them know there are ways to make a difference right now. It's just not 3/4 inch tapes. And I told him yesterday, you're going to save a lot of money on FedEx. All you got to do is do a link and email somebody.
Yeah, we used to have to send these 3/4 inch tapes out to. We would go on to the trades, Variety, and some of these other printed trades that you get every week, and all the job across the nation listed. Send your 3/4 inch tape via postal service or FedEx, and they would get it, and then they would call you on your landline. If you were home.
That's all we knew.
Yeah, but it worked. Somehow it worked. I don't know how, but somehow it worked.
Media Line was a big one.
Media Line was another one. Yeah. That we would get our So how do you tell the kids now what is available? Because we had to get through the gatekeepers. There were gatekeepers to every job. It was so hard to get. We had to convince them to put us on the air. Now they have the access. You can put your stuff out to the world on YouTube.
Right.
But you have to garner an audience, which is the hard part to cut through the gazillion pieces of content that are out there and get people's attention. How do you do that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different ways. I had a buddy of mine, we were talking before I we went on the air here, Matt Moscona, he works in Baton Rouge. And what I really appreciate about him, and you follow this template a lot too, he does the drive time in the afternoon in Baton Rouge. I mean, he broke the Brian Kelly story. I mean, he's a pretty big influential member of the media there, but he does so much more. I mean, he does the LSU podcast, Locked In. You know, there's just all these opportunities now that weren't there when we had Media Line and 3/4-inch test. I mean, you have Locked In cast. Think about the social media departments for teams, not only colleges, but NFL teams. And you also have the component, frankly, of being able to work with teams on the air. Back in the day, and this has kind of hurt us in journalism a little bit, is if Baker Mayfield signs with the Bucs, he's going to go one-on-one with Casey Phillips.
Right.
But there are Casey Phillips jobs now that weren't there either. And they're with every NFL team, and every college is growing in terms of their media reach a little bit. So I just think it's different. But I preach this to, I don't care if you're going to sports media or anything. You got to intern to figure out, A, what you like and figure out what you don't like. But if you wait till your senior year and you wait till late, then you're going to be behind a little bit. But I think you got to meet as many people as you can and develop as many skills as you can. Because if you're a good anchor on TV, but if you can do play-by-play, you can host a podcast, you can do a vlog. Maybe you don't do play-by-play right away, but you do one of those until you get the play-by-play job and you meet as many people as you can.
Yeah. Just network your ass
Absolutely.
off. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. We'll take another break. We'll come back on the other side and share some more stories with Mike Nabors, longtime Tampa Bay journalist. We'll talk about your book coming up too. And I think Orestes may be jumping in here too. We can talk about you. You covered the Rays in their infancy, right?
That was when I moved here. I worked for
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You did.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Some Tropicana Field stories coming your way. We're brought to you by the great folks at the Generation Plumbing. They are the folks, along with American Standard Heating and Cooling, that will get you right with all your HVAC needs, whether keeping you cool in the summer or warm in these tough winters that we have here. American Standard is the standard. They are the most reliable. They are the most efficient. And if you want a great company to put it in, it's thirdgenerationplumbing.com. They will install your HVAC unit to perfection. If you have any issues at all, they will give you great service. thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Back in 3 with Mike Nabors. Stay with us. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week. So go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Are you looking for an honest AC and plumbing company? I mean, that's like trying to find a humble Saints fan, right? Well, try my friends at Third Generation AC and Plumbing Services. Been in business since 1995 here locally. And listen to what one of their customers said. Quote, the gentleman providing the service was exceptional, on time, knowledgeable, professional, and experienced. He was efficient, cleaned up behind himself, and did the work expeditiously. He not only repaired a sink, he repaired our toilet that was constantly running. We have used this company several times. They are awesome. Says it all, folks. Testimonials really say it all. Call 813-961-8024 for honest, fast service. 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com. We also do AC.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
We're Jackson, right?
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Here's We Roll On here, brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. It is a wonderland of jewelry. If you've never been there, it's just fun to go, especially in the holiday season. It's all decorated up, and you walk in there, it's bling, bling, bling everywhere. It's the largest jewelry store in the area, and easy, too. It's like 15, 20 minutes from downtown Tampa. Big parking lot. You don't have to worry about going to the mall and walking all over the place. You go right in. And they have a great staff there. So, and of course, the prices are the best. The selection is the best. They have everything you could possibly want under the sun. They have gemologists there. They'll do appraisals for you. You can bring in your old gold and silver, anything to do with jewelry. They got it. And of course, buying season is coming up. And it's the holiday season. Let's shop local, folks. You don't have to buy everything at Amazon. Keep it local. And we love our local companies. None better than the Gold and Diamond Source. You can find them at goldanddiamond.com as well. Mike Nabors joining us here, author, longtime TV guy, here locally and not only locally, but across the way, making decisions along the way of your career. Now that you're a teacher, what do you, because I get this all the time, is like, how do I get into the business? Yeah. How do I, how do I make choices? Because you'll have different avenues to go down. What do you tell them?
You got to love it. You have to love it.
Yeah, because you ain't going to get paid early on.
Yeah, it's just one of those labor of love early on. But if you want it, you're going to get better. You're going to want to get better. This is the main thing.
Yeah.
But we were talking in the break, when I interned for you, I went to Florida and I did everything in Florida, sports director, College Station, like
University of Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I went to the radio station. Then afterwards, I thought I was ready. We talk about 3/4 inch tapes. I had everything ready to go. You got to have the tape ready.
Yeah.
By the time you graduate, and I sent a tape to Nacogdoches, Texas, and I would
market 175.
I don't even know if it was that big. I think it was a little better than that. But you know what? Here's the thing too. At this point, with local news the way it is, you have to look at a station that has a commitment to sports.
Yeah.
And sometimes that may be a smaller market, but they love sports more, and you're going to get more reps and you're going to get more exposure. So it's worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stations in Baton Rouge that have more of a commitment than New Orleans.
Oh,
right?
God, yes.
A lot more commitment.
Yeah.
So Nacogdoches, first tape I sent out, they called me. I'll never forget Kyle Langley, if you're out there. If you're out there, Kyle Langley. He called me, one of the best phone calls. He said, we love it. We want to fly you out. We want to bring you in. And a week later, after I just partied for a week, I thought this is going to be easy. I got a call from Kyle Langley, who said, we brought media consultants in and they think you look too young. So you're going to have to avoid the plane ticket, and good luck to you. So I got close to so many jobs.
Crushing.
Yeah. And this is in the book though. And I think this is a good lesson in terms of wanting it and going for it. And I talk to my students. I never pretend to know their career path or anybody's, because in this business, it's so crazy that it just takes one to love you. And that's the beauty of it. But you got to find that one person.
Yeah.
So my dad, late father, just great inspiration to me, really believed in me. He said, why don't you dub off a bunch of tapes and just drive around and go see these stations? So I had just interned for the St. Louis Cardinals. So I did a big triangle from Tallahassee to Minneapolis to Lubbock, Texas, back to Tallahassee.
Wow.
Drove all over
I didn't even know this story.
And I had worked for the Cardinals, so they put me up in Chicago. I did a series there where I just did stats, and they paid me. Same in St. Louis. I did one in Houston. I kind of deviated from that triangle. A lot of red roof ends, a lot of couches with buddies. I remember a guy in Topeka, Kansas told me I had a speech impediment. I had Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I met with every news director. The day before I would get to that city, I would call them. My name's Mike Nabors. I'm going to be in town. Do you have any time for me at all? And this is another lesson. This is what's great about getting in the business now, is we didn't have social media. We didn't have LinkedIn. We didn't have the means to get to people the same as young people do today. I mean, I have guest speakers every week. You've been a guest speaker in my class. I'm getting away from the story, but Mark Zumoff, who was the longtime Philadelphia 76ers play-by-play man, wrote a book, and I use it in my class. And I don't use textbooks that much because for what I teach, it doesn't really work. Marketing management a little bit, but media, I want to just talk to them and bring in guest speakers. But anyway, reached out to Zumoff on X. He's spoken to my class 3 times. I had Jim Mora, the former coach, playoffs. I love Jim Mora. We've just had a lot of guest speakers, but I can reach out to them now. And you have relationships. But anyway, with the big triangle around the United States, the third stop was Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And I felt good about it. But at that point, I had been close so many times. And I think this is another key. You have to be willing to go places.
Yeah.
Get out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Big time.
I would have gone to Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah.
I would have gone to Topeka, Kansas, if he liked me. So Tuscaloosa, Alabama had a good interview. It was at the beginning of it, but I traveled for 2 weeks. I got home. Tuscaloosa called me, and I ended up getting the job from the trip.
How about that?
And it was, and then later down the road, I was in Tallahassee, and I was wanting to get out of there. And, Dan Hicken in Jacksonville, I applied for their job. And then I thought about it, and I said, I think I have a better tape. Can I drive it to you? I want to drive to you. And he said, absolutely. So I dropped off the tape, and I got the job in Jacksonville from that. So there's a chapter in the book called Make Your Trip.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. I made my trip, but you can define your life by making your trip, going the extra mile, meeting someone in a unique way. I know there's a basketball coach at Florida Southern. He drove 6 hours to meet this coach to get his initial job, and he got it. So, I mean, there's all kinds, whether it's coaching, whether it's anything, you can do it.
And I tell people all the time now, show up. A lot of things, everybody can text now, everybody can email. Yeah. And I know it's sometimes they'll just say, I don't have time to see it, whatever, that's fine. But if you show up, most times people will say, oh, hey, sure. Yeah, whatever, and they'll take the time. But most people want to help. You'd be surprised the people that don't. I mean, the way I got my job at Channel 8, this is a crazy story. I'm working at Channel 44. Right. I don't know if I ever told you this story.
I've never heard this. No.
So I'm working at Channel 44, and they ended their 10 o'clock news. Oh. And so I was just basically doing Bucs at this point and some other stuff and wondering what I'm going to do with my career. Yeah. Here I got to Tampa, and I was, it was very upwardly, but it was, I was like, I don't know what my next stop is. So I'm in Oakland, and we're doing a whole hour-long pregame show for the Bucs at Channel 44, and they put me in the end zone where the freaks are. What do they call that? The black hole. Yeah. So they put me down in the end zone where the black hole is. And at first, you're hour and a half before the game, nobody's there. Right. So as the game, as they start filtering in all the freaks with the shoulder pads and all in the black hole, I'm like literally 10 yards away from them. Yeah. And they're like, "You folks suck! Bucs, you're an idiot, Michael. What's wrong with your hair, dude? Just your teeth, your hair." Right. And I'm like looking into the camera, just no prompter, just, doing my thing. And you can hear them in the background. Right. I'm asking my producer, can you hear all the F-bombs? They're like, yeah, we can hear the F-bomb. And I'm like, and I thought it was like the most, and John Shula came in because Mike was still coaching, and I interviewing Shula, and they're like spitting on him. I mean, it felt like a disaster.
Yeah.
It felt like my worst moment on TV. But I also kind of felt like, with all the crap that was going on, we kind of nailed it.
Yeah.
Like we kind of like got through that.
Right.
It was pretty crazy.
Right.
And so I get back to my hotel room in my hotel room in San Francisco, and I have a message because we don't, there's a message, call Dan Bradley at Channel 8.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, cool. So, because I don't know where, and I call him up, and, right, because this was like, must have been like midnight or something. I called him up, and he said, hey, I saw you pregame show. You handled that really, really well. Like, that was crazy. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. I'm like, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. He goes, yeah, we're looking to add some people on the weekend. So we'd really like you to come in for an interview. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, I was like the number one station in Tampa.
Yeah.
And
you never know who's watching.
You never know who's watching
or listening.
And you think, I could have just like said, like, we can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, we're done. You fight through it, do the best you can. You never know who's watching, and you never know how it looks to other people. It's just like, zero in on your training and do the best you can. And that was insane. So even when I thought was one of my worst moments turned out to be one of my best. It was crazy times.
Live TV, to me, a lot of times when you do a live shot and you think it's good, maybe it's not as good as you think, or when it's bad like that, it's not as bad as you think either. It's kind of a weird dynamic with all that. No,
Big O's here. So it's live TV. Just come on and sit on this other thing. Mike Nabors, Big O, and we're talking. You guys will be able to share stories. So your first office was Tropicana Field, right?
It was, yes.
Tell me about that, because that place was. And you think it's bad now?
You try to accentuate the positive back then,
because
we would be editing our stories, and we were in this little office in Tropicana Field. And the Rays were just horrible back then. So what would be great is, to beat traffic when they would have the early game, we would just watch a couple innings and let traffic subside and then drive home. I mean, that was what's great about it. And we had access to everything back then. So I was in heaven because I love baseball and I wanted to work here. I always wanted, like back when I interned with you, I had family here. Tampa's where I want to be. So, I mean, I live in Lutz, but I was just loving working in the Trop, being around baseball, the whole thing. But it was crazy with Vince Namoli back then, and all that was going on with ownership, and it was different.
Yeah. And your thoughts on where they're at now? Well, all this, the Stu Sternberg era that you saw me live through, and all this, where this team is.
My girlfriend lives in Paris, so I drive by the Trop. I just want to see the Trop when they have to have baseball. What's it going to be like? What's it going to smell like? I'm interested to see the inside of it. I mean, it seems like they're making progress, but to me, there's so much still that has to be done. You guys hear this. I mean, I have friends in Jacksonville. They think, we're still going to get the team maybe up here.
Really?
Well, I mean, but
I thought the Orlando people were delusional. There's Jacksonville people that think they're going to get the team
because the principal owners is from there, all that stuff. But I just feel like I want to see shovels in the ground. I want to see official announcements here. That's where I am right now.
Well, I can tell you this, that it's HCC.
Okay.
That's where they're doing all the work. And I think they're running into a few issues, and which is totally predictable. Again, when you're trying to build what will probably be close to $6 billion build out with all the hotels and restaurants and everything that they're trying to do on 100 acres. It's not something that's easily pulled together.
Yeah.
And so they've been waiting to talk to the county about the revenue streams that are going to be available. And they put off a couple of meetings. So it's coming, and they want to get a vote in the first quarter of next year, which is ambitious, obviously, but everything's moving in the right direction. And it's finally, I think it's coming. It's not going to Jacksonville. It's not going to Jacksonville, and it's not going to Orlando.
Well, I'm not
unless we completely drop the ball here in Tampa, which I don't.
It's like the Lane Kiffin story. Everybody in Baton Rouge thinks they're going to get him. Everybody in Gainesville thinks they're getting Lane Kiffin, and we don't know. We know more about the Rays.
Some people in Tallahassee thought we were going to get him.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Believe it or not, yes, that was all part of it. Right. But that's an interesting part of the media cycle now as well, as we can kind of transition into where we were like, we used to break stories in Tallahassee and things like that. And like, it was a big deal, like a few outlets. And now a story breaks and it's immediate and it's everywhere. And sometimes it's right and sometimes it's wrong. I
remember breaking the story that Andre Wadsworth was going pro, things like that.
Yeah.
We would see him. But the difference is nobody could tweet about it at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
They would wait until we did our sportscast at 6:00. That's the world we live in now. Nobody's waiting for that anymore. They're waiting for the phone and what happens here.
Yeah, everything breaks on Twitter now.
Yeah.
It really does. And maybe Lane Kiffin might end up with the Bucs now.
Yeah, we might. There's talk of him going to the Bucs now. Absolutely.
First,
let me break that story now.
Where is he not going? Is where the Giants, the Bucs, LSU. I think now I think most people believe he's going to LSU now.
Right.
I think so. But what if he's the ultimate troller on speaking of X?
Yes.
He's very good at that.
Yeah. What if he just said, you know what? He gets emotional after the Egg Bowl win and says, you know what? I'm going to make money wherever I go.
Yeah.
I'm going to build this place because frankly, LSU's won a national title under several head coaches. Florida has under a few. I'm going to build something nobody's done before. I don't know if that'll happen, but that'd be interesting.
I mean, Ole Miss is going to want to keep him. They're going to probably put a lot of money in front of him. And like you said, it's the SEC. It's not an easy, hill to climb or mountain to climb. But if he does climb that mountain as an Ole Miss, he'll go down as a legend. So I do want to circle back because you made some interesting points about the Trop. I think there's going to be a honeymoon period coming up. That's going to be exciting. Obviously, once they clear it all out, they redo it. There is going to be this excitement. It's already kind of building, I feel, as we go to the end of the season. The end of the year and into next season. Your thoughts on, St. Pete, little old St. Pete getting, their team back? Because this is almost like a, renewing of vows, if you will. That's kind of how, JP and I have been putting in the last week or so, where it's like, you're coming back home and it is going to be a little bit of a love affair.
I love going to Steinbrenner this past year.
That was fun.
It was great because
really
every
fun.
seat was pretty good.
Yeah.
You're right on top of the.
But then
that's not Major League Baseball.
It's not Major League Baseball. But here's the thing, and we all have friends in that organization, and it's been a tough year for them to move out and have the unknown. Right. They don't know what's going on. So I feel for them that they can go back and have some semblance.
And the city.
Because think about marketing. Eric Weisberg's a good friend of mine. And you have all these meetings and you plan all these things, and then the hurricane comes, and then you have to really pivot and adjust and change course. But I just want baseball to be back, and I agree. And in a major league setting, where we can go to a game, and I felt for the players and Kevin Cash too. I mean, everybody was affected by this.
How not?
Yeah.
But really, the core of it was the city, the businesses, both from the side of the hurricane losses, it hit all the way inland too, if you think about it. I mean,
destroy the whole area.
Yeah, it was the whole area, Tampa, not just the beaches. But I'm excited about that because the reality is that you have 3 full seasons that you're going to be able to kind of regain that love affair at a stadium that we've all been there many, 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 many times, right? And I've walked that stadium so many times, so have you. And I love the fandom, the true fandom. And I think they're going to come out and they're going to, support it with this new vibrant ownership.
I agree.
And the way that they're talking, I think it's going to be.
Can I ask a question, boys? And, I have all the experts there.
Sure.
What from an outsider, but a baseball fan, right? And by default, a fan of the Rays because of this show. So, what is the level of excitement for the fans in the area? Let's give it a percent. Like, what percent of the fans locally, not obviously nationally, but those that are affected by the Trop and those that can attend the Trop, what percentage of fans are actually excited to be able to return to the Trop?
This is interesting because, I see a lot on social media nostalgically talking about Tropicana Field.
Right.
And it seems like there's a lot of fans that are excited. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I hate that place. I
Yeah,
think it's a
I
dump,
don't.
and it's always been a dump to me.
Yeah.
And you've played in every stadium.
Yes.
There, from Japan to, so you can compare. I've never liked it. It feels like a Walmart to me. It feels plastic. But but after 1 year of Steinbrenner, I thought Steinbrenner was going to be awesome. Let's play there for 3 years until we build a new stadium. Nah, it's not. To your point, it's not major league.
That's the problem.
It's just not big league. Not that the Trop is, but it's way better than Steinbrenner Field. And the climate control is something that's needed in this area.
Yeah.
So the lesser of two evils.
I like the outdoor games at night. That doesn't bother me. Yeah, but clearly day games and just in general, you're not going to get a huge fan base if it's outside. That's the way it is. We're too soft these days. So I get there's positives to Tropicana Field, and I'm kind of coming around to this nostalgic part of it, this nostalgic.
That's what this 3-year run should be.
And also bringing the communities together. Another great opportunity for unity in the community, to quote the great Chris Thomas. And I think it is because we can embrace, and I think this new ownership group will embrace, and they're doing a great job of it already.
I believe they
St. Petersburg
Yeah.
and the fans that are there, and say, we're going to be here for 3 more years, and then we're going to build in Tampa, and we want you all to be part of this. But here, this is our home now, so let's build this fan base as best we can. I believe move from this whole thing is going to blossom this fan base tremendously if the guys do it the right way.
I really do, and that's why I'm saying that it's this block of time that you can have. You had this kind of like separation, right? Which is what it was to go to Steinbrenner. They did a great job there. I'm talking about the Rays, but also Steinbrenner Stadium.
Yes,
Steinbrenner
best
Field.
we could,
best that we could. It was timely. It was great. Now, you kind of build this momentum, as you said, and go back home for a little bit. And here's what you get out of it in the big picture of it. You get a Tampa Bay team.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I think, what you're trying to do is you get a chance to not rip it from St. Pete and say, hey, we're just going to stay in Tampa because we're building in Tampa.
Exactly.
And thank you very much. Come out to our games. No, it's this kind of like flow that you're saying, yeah, this is our old stadium. Yes, it's a beat up stadium in the sense of the biggest, but it's a major league stadium.
Yep.
And look at what the Athletics are going through. They really did not enjoy their season in Sacramento.
No.
And they got a young, exciting, talking about, let's not get into the X's and O's. That's an exciting up-and-coming team. Well, I'm telling you, by the time this team moves into a new stadium.
They got 4 years Sacramento, right?
They got 2 more years in Sacramento. But by the time this team moves to Las Vegas, we watch out for Las Vegas Athletics.
Yeah.
That's how good, young, and strong they are. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's like this, let's re-engage with the St. Pete fandom and Tropicana for what it is.
Can we get rid of the catwalks?
I think it's impossible.
That's my big. I
think it's impossible.
I know.
Isn't that the identity of the entire stadium?
It's easy for me to say this as a guy in the media, but I look at Atlanta, where they don't charge for.
Sorry, your audio is lagging a little bit, maybe on our end. I apologize. Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, you look at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, where the concessions are very affordable.
Yeah.
And to me, along what you're saying, to bring it back to Tampa Bay, not just Tampa.
Correct.
Let's give the fans a little break this year. And whether it's parking, whether it's concessions, let's get creative with that.
They've already done a little bit of that.
Oh, good. I mean, that's what they need to do because, frankly, and I know they can't be the Savannah Bananas, but just the more I learn about the Bananas, I just think it's remarkable what they do. And what they do is they assume that it's every fan's first game.
Right.
And you can't just get happy if you sell out opening day. You got to assume, you know what? A St. Pete's never seen a game here, even though you've only been away a year. Let's assume that the next generation has never seen it. Let's get more creative and cater to the fans a little bit. I know it's cliche to do it, but I think it's important if you're going to accomplish what you're saying and bringing back this team to Tampa Bay.
And I think that's where Ken Babby comes in. And is a guy that's been successful at the AA and AAA levels of that fandom, that Savannah Banana, modality mentality. And I think that's going to kind of be, put in place. It's already, they're having $10 tickets and there's going to be more and more and more. I think I have this gut feeling that it's going to be more than people think. And,
I agree.
And it's going to be surprising.
That's great.
It's going to be fun again.
And it's going to be fun again.
That's
and
the
they
one.
have enough of a product on the field if they better it a little bit, that then it's going to coincide with wins.
This is the thing that has been, I think, blocking us for so long from really embracing Rays baseball. There's always been the Stu thing out there.
Right.
We always end up talking about
Namoli
payroll,
before
Namoli before that, bad ownership. We're talking about payroll. We're talking about stadium. We're lying to the fans. We're not doing things that are fan-centric at all. We're overpricing. We're pricing our fans out during the premium game, letting it all. And it's constantly been the conversation. We never talk about fun.
Right.
Like baseball is supposed to be fun. Like we're supposed to be, home runs, pitching, like Savannah Bananas. Like we're doing fun, crazy things. And so it's like we can totally change the conversation around the Rays and baseball and stop talking about effing money and ownership and talk about baseball.
And
I mean, how much time have we wasted talking about all the other shit as opposed to actually talking about baseball? Like, that's all.
And look at the innovation they've done and with the Jones, with the payrolls. All this should be talked about more, but instead we have all this other stuff on the side.
And then let's remember, we're in
Bring
Florida.
the fun back.
Yeah, and we're in Florida, and it starts with an F. There's 2 other F's, and it's not a bad word. It's free fun. This is the state of the most free fun that you can have.
Nothing's free more, partner.
Well, you know what I mean. We have the beaches, we have the lakes,
parks,
we have the sun.
Yeah.
So it's always been you competing against that. So unless you make it fun again, or for the first time, you're always going to be knocking your heads against that. But I think this is an ownership group that's trying to do that, and I think it will.
Savannah Bananas could sell out Raymond James Stadium. I know they can't be the Bananas and call a game when it's 2 hours or a fan catches a foul ball. It's an out.
But that goes back to your phone thing because that was all built up over social media.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But it is Major League Baseball.
I saw the guy, I forget the top hat guy, what his name is, the
Cole?
Yeah, Jesse.
Yeah.
He was on doing an interview and somebody asked him, he said, well, what could the NFL take from, or Major League Baseball take from Savannah Bananas? And he said, you know what they could do is they could make the fans feel like part of the game again. Like the NFL especially is, secluded their players. Secluded their players. He goes, we go out to the front gate and all of the people into the, like we're out there and our players walk through the crowd to come down to the, and I know there's security issues and things like that.
That's the problem at the major league level.
Yeah, but there's
not at because technically they're a minor league team.
Yeah. But there are things that you can do just from a concept standpoint.
I agree.
Like really getting close up to the fans. Like when a guy stops in pregame warmups and signs for a bunch of fans, people go nuts. I'm like, why don't every player do that? Like you got 2 hours before the game where you're warming up. You can't take 10 minutes and just walk the line every single day and just do some autographs.
I'll tell you, just to add to that, why baseball is so incredible to the United States of America. What's like the coolest thing that people come from all over the nation? Spring training.
Yeah. Yep.
And that is kind of almost quasi-free fun.
Yeah.
It's very low ticket to get in.
Yeah.
But you're at the closest level.
That's like baseball used to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you could steal some of spring training into the regular season and make that more accessible. But in spring, and again, these are $10, $15 million players now that are engaging with the fans and it's a small ballpark. So then you're doing that. That's where they're playing at the Steinbrenner Fields in spring training, but grandiose that and get the, and I think there's ways of doing that and ways of doing it in game where the fan activity is just much more fun.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, maybe the starting pitchers that aren't pitching that day can go up into the stands and meet people and fans.
But the
they're not doing
The
anything.
pitching coach wouldn't like that.
You can't expect everything bananas, but what I love about what I love them though, and this is what you love about certain things in life, is they say you can't do it. They say you can't do it. They say it's not going to work.
Yep.
When they named them the Bananas, I mean, Savannah's a fun place to go. We know
I've been
that.
there. I played in the game.
Right. But it's conservative place. So it's like New Orleans in a way. New Orleans is fun, but it's conservative at its core.
Is.
So the nickname Bananas, everybody hated it.
Right.
Everybody hated a lot of things. And now it's like the NFL is a copycat league. A lot of people in Major League Baseball are going to Savannah to learn how can we better engage the fans?
They got to do a lottery for their tickets.
It's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah, great. They're selling out Fenway. They're selling out Yankee Stadium. All these things.
It's just because they cater to the fans.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Mike, thanks for stopping in. Big O. We're going to do a Big O show here coming up at 12:30 to 1:30 live. So if all you are watching right now, you can tune back into all these same platforms. We'll be talking baseball. What are we hitting today?
Well, listen, we're going to hit this right here, which is this is Sable.
Oh, yes, this is interesting.
And we're going to be talking a little bit about my guy Tetsuya Imai and his dramatic words that he doesn't want to play for the Dodgers. He wants to play. He wants to beat the Dodgers. So
he's already marketing himself brilliantly.
And I could tell you a lot about this
smart
kid because I spent last year over there with the team, both him and Kona Takahashi, and I'm super excited about both of them, but more about Imai, who's the better pitcher. So we'll talk about that and some of the looks as far as what the Rays are needing. A couple of interesting trades that that just transpired this week. Another one just happened just a few minutes ago. Sonny Gray got traded to the I believe Boston picked him up.
Wow.
So, yeah. So
action's about ready to happen.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of stuff is on the corner. Obviously, after Thanksgiving, the next step is the baseball meetings that'll be in Orlando. So I think it's going to be a busy offseason for a lot.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how the face Rays changes over the next. The book is "Don't Quit, Pivot."
I like that name. I like that title.
Dickie V with the forward and
sell it.
This is what it's about. You could like your job and still want to pivot. You want a new challenge. You don't have passion for your job, which is most people. Or you could hate your job. This is for all ages, different levels of satisfaction in the world. I changed my whole career at the age of 50. I'll always have a foot in broadcasting. We all have skills we take for granted. I don't care if you're 23 or 83 or all ages in between. If you're looking for a career,
there you go.
Don't Quit available on
absolutely.
Buy
on
everything.
my website too, MikeNabors.com.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks, Governor.
I'll get here.
Yeah, stop by anytime.
Yeah, this is
we
fun.
Me and O just hang out here and talk shit all the time. It's fantastic.
Sports shit.
Yeah, that's what we do. Called. Then we're gonna smoke a turkey and ham today. Is it smoking already out there?
I think it is.
Oh, Thanksgiving is here. Hey, guys, we're not gonna have live shows Wednesday, Thursday. Actually, I think Timmy may be jumping on Friday. We may do a live show for you Friday. Just keep an eye on our social media. We're gonna take a little bit of time off.
Boys?
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys?
Tim like that win, to be honest with you.
What?
No, he hates the Cowboys.
He's in Texas. You're not allowed to live in Texas unless you like them a little bit.
They're coming back. They're going to make the playoffs.
They're going to make the playoffs, baby.
Oh, my God. ESPN's happy.
Yes, they are.
You know that.
Yeah. They're a
Dak
big
MVP,
brand.
baby. Dak for MVP.
All right. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. We love you. We're thankful for all you folks in the chat. Sorry we didn't do a lot of your put this up for my wife who texted and said, but especially the women who fangirl over the bananas. I would wager they actually need more security than MLB. That is a huge part of their success.
That's a great comment,
the moms,
by the way.
The moms are driving this. They love them. They love the boys taking their shirts off.
That's why the Rays need to listen, though. Right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Tighter shirts, short, no sleeves.
No sleeves.
Is that what we're going with?
I think if you're smart.
Ryan Pepio.
Whatever works, man.
Little shorts. Maybe.
Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. We love you guys. We'll see you Friday.